Hello everybody, today's video is a tutorial on how to create your own tokens and the macros associated with it. So what we want to start off by doing is opening up MapTool. It'll take a little bit because MapTool's a little, little wonky sometimes. Yep. So we're gonna be introduced to this grassland. So you're gonna want to have an image, right? So you're gonna have your token image, right? Which is basically an image you can get online or anything. And you want to go to the file up in the top left corner. And then you want to go to add resource to library. And then here you want to find the folder with your image. And then once you import that, it will be added to your library over here. And if that is not on your screen right here, you can go to window and then you can open up library. Check the library. You're also going to want to check the impersonate window, the GM window, and the chat window. So after that's done, also, feel free to pause the video if I'm going a little too fast, because I do not want to make this video too long. Anyways, so once you have your little tokens and images inside, you're going to want to drag your token onto the grass. So I have a bunch of tokens here. I'm just going to grab a random guy, and then all you want to do is just drag it onto the map. And there you can see it got placed down. Now this is my little token that we're going to be using today. You want to go double click on the token. So once you double click on the token, you should be opened up to this window. Now in the top, you should insert the name. We'll name this guy Stevie. His name's Stevie. And then these other ones are not necessary. And then right next to the name, you want to transfer this NPC where it has the little drop down arrow to PC. That makes it a player character. And even if it's NPC, just switch it to PC. It's there's some implications that it applies to, but yeah, you don't need to worry about it for now. Right now, the notes are empty, but you can write some character notes. This is where I like to keep my character sheets and stats and extra inventory notes. Yeah, so you can just write that, whatever you want. That's just for the DM and the players to keep track of things. Properties tab, one of the most important tabs. So here you want to input all your stats. So let's give this guy 10 everything, because he's a real well-rounded guy. So we're just gonna add 10 to all of these, and then his HP. His HP is going to be, let's give him 20 HP, and his AC is going to be, let's give him 10 AC. For defense, this is not defense. So the way the macros I'm going to teach you how they work, the defense is used as the maximum HP. So think of the defense as the maximum amount of health your character can have. So our max for Stevie is going to be 20. So that is the max health they have. So full hearts, full healing, right? That is the max they would have. 20. Does that make sense? Alright. For movement, this doesn't really matter. You can go onto the character sheet and then, yeah, their movement. We'll give Stevie 30 feet of movement. Their elevation, we can leave blank, and the description, I use description as the pronouns for the macros. So you can just write their pronoun. So it's like when he gets hit, it's like he got hit, she got hit, you know, in the little chat description. So he's a he. He is a dude. Or he identified. Not gonna get into that. Anyway, so you want to go over to the state. So we were in the properties tab. Now we're going to the state window. We're going to uncheckmark the hide health. Okay, after that we're going to ownership and we're going to click all players. And then after that we're going to config window. We will change the shape to top down. We will then add the portraits. So you can add any type of portrait you want, but I'm not going to be doing that today. That's basically the full character art, so when you hover over it, it'll show. Okay, so once we're done with that, we can click OK, And then so we have our little character. So now the interesting part is the weapons and the attack and how we fight in this map tool setting. So next you want to right click on your little token and click impersonate. Once you click impersonate, you should notice this is replaced, this window that we added earlier is replaced with a little window that says no macros. So what does that mean, you ask? That means we are going to have to add some macros. So in the description of this video, I'm going to link to a little program I made on Roblox, because that's the only thing I know how to code. But yeah, so on Roblox, I made a little thing that will make the attack macro for you. So what we're going to want to do is click on the link in the description, which will lead you to this page. And you're going to want to install Roblox if you don't already have it, and run this. So once this runs, it's going to start Roblox, and we are going to wait for it to load. Wesley's Wondrous Macro Maker, a great tool. So as you can see, you get this little menu screen, and you're going to want to click Begin. So we are going to input the person's name, or the token's name. The token's name that we're using today is Stevie. And then we want to click or press Enter on our keyboard. That leads us to the next. What is this guy's dexterity modifier? So as you can see, we can, go back and check. It's all 10s. So that would be a 0 modifier. So we're just going to put 0 here. And we're going to press Enter. And then the strength modifier would also be 0. If you are curious as to how to find out the modifiers, you can easily search up TD modifiers and just go to images, and there's tons of these. So yeah, as you can see, 10 to 11 is 0, so you can use this to determine the modifiers. If you're new to D&D, that is. That should be pretty basic. But yeah, so after, we're gonna go back to here. This is a configure new attack. So this will add one of your character's attacks to the macro so the player can use it in the game, if that makes sense. So you'll see once we get further into it. So let's say he will have a short sword. So I'm going to give him a short sword. A short sword. Oops, I misspelled short sword. So that is the name of the attack and what he will be using. Does that make sense? So you could say fist, you could say kick, you could even say lick, because what if your character licks to do damage, So, yep, we're gonna do short sword. Okay, and then the next tab here is the attack description. So what they're doing with this little attack. So we're gonna say slashes his short sword. We're gonna say slashes his short sword, and that's what he's doing with the short sword, right? Makes sense. It's just a little immersion. And then melee or range, melee, however you want to pronounce it. Melee is your strength modifier, and ranged is your dexterity modifier. That's how D&D works. And if you choose melee, it will use your strength modifier to do extra damage from strength, and if you use range, your dexterity modifier will be applied to your damage. So the short sword is a melee weapon, so we are going to type melee. This is case sensitive, so you want to type these exact terms into the box. So we're going to do melee. Next, we want to do the damage dice, right? So the short sword does, you know what, I actually don't know, but you can search that up. For now, we're just going to say the short sword does 2d6. So this is the format you want to use for the dice. It's D and then the number of sides on the dice. And if you want to do multiple dice, you add a number before the D. It's pretty simple, right? So let's say our short sword, or Stevie's short sword, is going to do 2d6 damage. And then once you're done with this, you want to click this button, which is confirming all this, and adds it to the macro. Attack successfully added. So now we can add a second one. We are going to add a bow because he has a bow. And we're going to say shoots his bow because that's the description. That's what he's doing with the bow. And then next we're going to say ranged because it uses his dexterity modifier on the damage roll. And then on the damage dice, we are going to give this bow a d4. A d4. And then we're going to add that. And then once we add that, you can add as many as you like, Once we're done, we click to finish this macro button. And once we do that, this will appear. So now this is the code that we will be copy pasting into MapTool. So you want to press Control A, click on the text box, right? This little, you can drag and like copy paste, but I like to do Control A so it gets all the text, Control C, and then you can X out. You can also click to restart if you want to make another. So we're going to leave this. We're going to go back into Map Tools, and we are going to click on this window that I asked you to open up before. So we're going to right click and press Add New Macro. Once we add the new macro, we can right click on the new macro and press Edit. Now we can paste what we did in Roblox, and we can paste all the code into here. And this will basically, you'll see what it does in a second. So after we do this, in the top of the window, there will be Editor, Details, and Options. You want to go to Details, and you can change the label. What I usually change this to is Weapons. Or, you could do Attack. Right? So anything you like. And then you click Apply to Selected Tokens. Check this box, very important. And Auto Execute is very important as well. You can change the button color and font color. We're not going to be doing that today. You know what? Why not? Let's just do that real quick. So we could just do that. And then we could just do the font size to that. And after that, we will go to Options and we will, this looks good. If you don't want your players editing the macro, which I would not recommend, I would uncheck that. And after that, we could do Apply, and then OK. As you can see, now we have an attack button. Okay? So now our attacks are ready. So we're just going to duplicate by, so the same process, basically you made this, you can make the enemies as well, right? So let's make let's just copy paste this guy just for time's sake. And let's just quickly change this art so we can differentiate the two. Let's make it a basket. No, that's lame. Let's make it a menacing. Here we go. One of these tribal characters. And then we're gonna click OK. So now our Stevie is fighting. Well, let's change his name to Tribal Warrior. I don't know how to spell warrior. I actually do, but I'm just kind of lazy. So we're going to click impersonate on Stevie. So we are playing as Stevie. And then we are going to click on the enemy, which is our tribal warrior. And then we are going to go to our attack option in that window. And it's going to open up this window. Now, what would you like to attack with? I am going to attack her with my bow. Ah, dang, it misses. So basically, that's how it works. You just click on what you want, and you might hit, and you might not. It does all the math itself, so you can focus on your RP and your GM stuff, And, okay, I will be making future tutorials on different types of macros. I will be making updates to the Roblox program. I will be making skill checks and saving throws. I'll do all that. But yeah, for now, that was the tutorial, and I hope you guys can use this to better your campaigns and make your players extremely, extremely happy and have so much fun. So yeah, that's that. And I will see you guys later. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. But yeah, see you all later.